never defeat me!
Hello everyone and welcome back for another episode of Diablo 3. After the last pretty successful bounty run, and that was a good test of our recording capabilities on the new machine, we're going to jump back in. I didn't end up carrying on with the same session, mostly because I wanted to play around with some of the different settings that I had in the back of the system. Let's just jump back in. Now, last time we did Act 1, which was really, really good because we needed to kind of level out our ingredients. Unfortunately, Act 1 is also the bonus one again, so we're not going to bother with that. We're going to go straight to Chaldeum and we're going to do an Act 2 set of bounties. So let's get started with that. We'll get some shouts going and hop on up. Oh yes, killing bugs with a giant cleaver thing. That's pretty much what our life is at the moment. And I still hate snakes. Let's get this guy killed quickly. Now, we're still obviously using the Burst of Wrath at the moment, which is a level 32 item. Mobs level 38, we're starting to notice that the damage we're doing is not really up to scratch. So I am looking for... Ooh, explosion time. Kaboom, 434k damage. Love it. We are on the lookout for a new weapon, so if you guys spot one at home, point it out, and if I miss it, well, I'm very sorry, but I'm not going to see your comments probably for a couple of days. Let's get a whirlwind going. I do like Hurricane, but until we get Rhymeheart, there's a distinct possibility I will switch over... Ooh, another explosion. I will switch over for the Dust Devils one, just because of that extra DPS that it puts out. And also, we seem to be making good progress towards actually getting mobs together. Although, times like this, when you can just get in the middle of them and get a rend on, it really, really shows how good it is. That's another reason why I like rend, because it does hit everything nearby, and it makes it all die slowly. As opposed to something like Bash, which only ever hits one mob. Like Cleave, which we obviously use, does a fair amount of a swing, but it doesn't hit everything in an 18-yard radius. And when you've got the Ravage option on Rend, that's a huge area that you're affecting. Let's get Ozzy the Cursed down. We get a Rend on him. Shout a bit, keep up our fury while we're in here. And death to the chicken. I'm still not sure which my favourite companion is. There's the Stinging Death Swarm that we need to take out. I do like the Templar because obviously healing and a bit of taunting, you know, emergency, get out of death free. But turning stuff into chickens is so much fun. Let's just kill these accursed while we're here. Get a rend on a couple of those. Ooh, God, that fire chains is kind of nasty. We won't pop Ignore Pain just yet. We don't really need to. But we will be aware that it's hurting us. If nothing else, for other mobs. Alright, let's grab these. And we'll just move straight on with the next bounty. Let's go kill Magda, actually. We'll mix it up a bit. That weapon is nowhere near as good as the Burst of Wrath. I know that we've got it socketed, but... wonder what that other bounty is. Let's just have a look. Because if there's one that's really that close... Ah, right. Seeing as we're here, we'll do the Prisoners of the Cult. Otherwise, we'll have to go the long way round to get back here. Let's get a rend on these. Oh god, there's a lot of them. This is what happens when you get illusionist flying creatures. They just move around and create billions and billions and billions of copies of themselves. And because they're blue, we can't really pull them in with the Hurricane. Not to worry, we can chase them down though. Let's get a rend on him. And level 39. Our weapons are even more ineffectual. But that's okay. Don't you dare hit me, you bloody thing. Brr. So I've unlocked the Earthquake Rune. The mountain's cool. That's something Matrix is probably going to have on his character at some point. Even if it's just a transitional skill. Because he's going for Leap Quake, it's a very, very different build. But there are some good items that make it so that every time you leap, you cause an avalanche or an earthquake. And you get Fury for doing both of those, and there's some very, very good synergies potentially there. Let's get this guy opened and freed as well. Alright, next one is just up here. We, on the other hand, are going for the massive thorns spinning spike whirling pointy demon, basically. That's what we're planning on being. Do this cursed chest. Get a rend on all of them, watch them die. Let's just watch them die. And you as well. Watch you die. That explosion was just for show. We didn't have to explode, but, you know, seeing as we'd completed the chest, it was just a bit of a show-off. Right. These guys, bring them all in together with a hurricane. Yep. Now, Burst of Wrath itself is just a two-handed axe, so we're not getting Fury back. So once we switch over to a mighty weapon, we will improve our Fury generation just ever so slightly. It will help us a bit. It means we can probably move away from having Rend on our bar and get something more useful. Explosions abound. Now, one of the patches that they've done is they've made it so that stuff that hides underground doesn't hide nearly as long or as often as it did before, and there's a maximum amount of time that it can stay underneath, so no more will there be times of chasing that last mob that you can't get to surface. Possibly one of the more frustrating things about bounties is having to go up against stuff that you can't actually reach. Oh, we're going to explode again. Well, yeah, those guys had a very bad day. I do love this soul stone. I know that as we get higher and higher level, it's going to become more dangerous and more hazardous for us. But that's why we have Ignore Pain on our bar. Okay, that bounty actually went pretty quickly. Now let's actually go and kill Magda. We'll ignore the rest of these guys as we're passing through. Let's just shout a bit as we go. Now another test is, at the moment I'm rendering up a video in the background, so this is recording while rendering. If you notice any significant decrease in the quality throughout the video, then do let me know. I am obviously going to check it, but it's worth hearing about these things, just because I want to give the best viewing experience for you at home, as much as I want to have the best playing experience here, and the machine seems to be able to cope with it, so there's no reason not to do that, apparently. One thing I wouldn't do is I wouldn't be uploading at the same time as playing. That would just be asking for trouble. Pings would shoot down. It'd end up miles away from where I expected, surrounded by mallet lords, dying. All these things are bad. Especially the dying part. Oh, we're going to explode again. I can't help but thinking if I was wearing the soulstone on my previous barbarian that died during the disconnection. If I was wearing the soulstone, that might have saved me just by me standing there for a while and then triggering an explosion. It could have been good. Could have saved ourselves the, not so much embarrassment, but the effort of having to level someone up. I know we had a spare, but now I've had to create a spare. I've actually got a spare barbarian called Spare Barbarian, just in case. It's good to be prepared, you know. And also, when I reach level 70, I'm going to want to have a couple of barbarians around so I can try out different builds without having to swap out equipment all the time. There's something that I'm looking forward to in one of the future patches when they put that armory system in. Being able to just completely swap your equipment and gems and everything over without having to faff around with finding where you put it all and reconfiguring it all. For me, at the moment, I'm just finding that having extra characters is the way to go. It makes things a lot easier. Just log in, log out, switch character, make sure you got the right paragon points in, and you're good to go. But the armory system will change all of that. It'll even reassign your paragon points for you, I think. I think until it actually comes out, none of this is guaranteed. In fact, they may never release it, but I've seen screenshots, and you see screenshot on the internet, it must be true. Let's get a rend on you. We'll build up some fury. And if we're lucky, we'll explode at you. Because I really, really want to kill you with an explosion, and now you've got under 280,000 health. There's a distinct possibility that could happen.
I need fury.
Oh, explosions. There we go. Killed Magda with a freaking explosion. That was fun. Okay, let's have a look at the horde. Grab all of these. all these delicious things. Right, what do we got in our inventory? It's a reasonable opportunity for us to head back. Let's do that now. We've unlocked the Relentless passive. That's going to be one that we potentially do. I'm not actually sure which we're going to go for until we get our Hellfire Amulet. But there's plenty of options for us to swing it around. Okay, what's that? That is worse than our current thing. It is only one-handed though, so that's understandable. We're going to keep Cane set for the most of it, so the only thing that we're looking at really is braces and maybe one other bit of kit. I don't think there's going to be much better for us in there. Nope, let's salvage it all up. We will take the opportunity to have a look at a new weapon though. Highest usable weapon at the moment, we're level 40. We could make the wedge. One-handed axe, yeah, and then switch to a shield in preparation for our higher level build maybe. We could just make a bigger axe, that's also an option. Let's make a wedge and we'll have a look at what damage output it's got. It's not that bad, it's just a little bit less damage than we're doing at the moment, but we would have an opportunity for a shield. I think we're going to stick with what we have though. Burst of Wrath is pretty useful. Killing enemies, giving us 20% of our fury is... No, sorry, 20% chance... No, sorry, a chance of granting 20% of my maximum primary resource. God, I'm falling over my words today. Let me just repair this equipment. We'll salvage that up. So we're going to keep Burst of Wrath for the moment, but I might socket a slightly better gem into it. Although we're probably going to out-level it soon enough, so I don't know if that's even worth it. Let's just jump straight on to the Cursed Pit bounty. We'll stop faffing around in town and get on and kill some things. That's what you're here for anyway. You're not here for me to stand around in town just talking to Kadala. We're doing pretty well though. We're up to level 40. That means there's only 30 more levels until we are obviously at the highest point in the game and we can start working on finding some nice funky equipment. Get this, get that, all of the things, that's what we want.
Oh no, it's a trap!
So much of a trap that, you know, everyone's dying. Okay, we gotta find where this cursed chest is. Let's whirl through all of these. Kill some spiders, kill some spiders. Wait, arcane enchanted spiders. That seems like a very bad idea. Exploding. Ooh. So, having that explosion trigger while standing in the middle of a bunch of arcane beams could, again, be fatal. We're not particularly worried about the damage we're taking at the moment. But this is another reason why we have our Ignore Pain on our bar. Just in case. And it's always just in case. Right, apparently we need to go up this way. I see you, Skeletal Raider. Let's get all of you rending up. And now we'll just stand and wail on this guy for a bit. Let's whirl out of that cold. Another rend. Oh. No, apparently we're just going to explode at them. Why waste time? Why waste time when you can just, you know, explode from your face with fire? It does happen significantly often. It's one of the things that I was worried about picking it up is, you know, it wouldn't happen, and when it did happen, it would be the time when it's going to kill you. But it seems to happen often enough that that it's providing a significant killing boost to what we're doing. It's like finding a nail ring early on and just having things explode. Ooh, hello, Gem Hoarder. Let's get a nice rend going on you, and we will run all the way through these guys. Oh, we're going to explode on you. Ah, missed ya. Missed ya by that much. Well, you're gonna die. There we go. Look at all these wonderful things. Gems galore from a gem hoarder. Now, they're not particularly high level gems, but that is gonna help us out on our leveling. Let's just have a look. Oh, yeah. Square rubies. That'd be actually quite a fair bit of damage extra. So we might put that in. What I really want is I really want to find a level 40 Burst of Wrath, because that would keep me going quite happily. Exploding in the middle of a cursed chest. Well, that's one way of killing the mobs that are around you. Don't think we're going to get the 100 mobs killed, but we're going to do a significant number. I need them to be coming closer to me, really. Explosion, that will also do. I love that it penetrates mobs as well. It doesn't just stop on the first mob, it goes right through them all. Oh, we did get 100. Oh, what do you know? Alright, we'll just kill the last of these. Level 41. 122, that's pretty respectable for a non-specifically geared random leveling Whirlwind Barbarian. Okay, so the final act, the final bounty of the act is the Flooded Cave. Let's just head straight over to that now. At some point it will be faster for us to change off Kane stuff and off-born stuff and just get the improved kill speed by upgrading our equipment. But that time is not here yet. We've still got decent kill speed. Probably until like level 45, I reckon. As long as we can, you know, keep our weapon on par. Or, you know, keep exploding at things. Exploding is definitely our fastest killing method. Pause for a second, then everything dies. You can die as well. You can die. We've got some blues to kill. Ooh, more Arcane Enchanted. Arcane Enchanted Desecrators. They've started getting more than one affix on them. They might have had that before for a while, but I just never noticed. I don't know. I only play the game. I don't actually pay attention to what's going on. If you've watched me in previous seasons, you'll know that's entirely true. Okay, we'll get that. We'll get the square diamond. Let's break a couple of these on the way through. We need to make our way down, and that's not too far away actually. Extra experience, always good to help with the leveling. That's not the way. God damn it! This is going to go all the way around, isn't it? Okay. Oh, more explosions coming. Ah, it's so satisfying when that happens.
Not ready yet.
We'll just ignore that chap that's chasing us, and we'll focus on maximum damage with these. Now, instead of Cleave, we could be using Frenzy, building up attack speed, and then using that into Whirlwind. And that's not a bad idea. It's not a bad combination of skills to work together. But I do love Cleave. I love Cleave so much. Right, here we go. Flooded Cave level 2. Now everything has to die. Where the hell are the mobs? That guy's already dead. There's the spider. Kill the spider. And there's spider chicken. Wow, there's not actually that many mobs on this one. Let's whirl through these. Look at this. Just cutting them all apart. We'll get another rend on for good measure. And we're going to explode. You can tell when it's going to happen because it says stunned immediately underneath it. Although in the middle of combat it can be kind of hard to see that. 12 mobs left. Let's loot this. Ooh, a unique mace. Alright, let's have a look at what that is. I'm always up for... That looks like Crush Bane. I'm always up for a bit of crushing Banes. Oh, no. Teldron's Hand. It's a one-handed one that does more damage than our current thing. Well, yeah. Let's change over to that. And... if we put that on at the same time, our damage goes down, actually. Alright, so we're going to stick with a one-handed mace for the moment. This is going to reduce our... what does this actually do? No special effects, but extra experience. Well, we always like extra experience. And a little bit of increased attack speed. Okay, so the mobs are not this way. We're not going to get the Burst of Wrath bonus of occasionally refilling our Fury, so we're probably not going to be able to whirl as much. But at this stage in the game, I'm not too fussed by that. Oh dear, explosion in the middle of nowhere. That's just embarrassing. Ooh, there's someone underground. That's pretty good as far as speed goes. Yeah, I like this mace. We'll stick with it for now. Yeah, the way he just, like, doubles over in the middle of a cave. It's like, oh man, that pizza I had last night. Oh, I can feel it hurting my gut. Why did I have to have extra cheese? But, you know, because extra cheese is delicious. It's always delicious. And then you just explode from your face with fire everywhere. I think that's actually what's happening. It's not that you got the red soul stone in your face. It's that you ordered extra cheese pizza the previous night. Right, let's get a Ren going on these. Let's not stand directly on the desecrator ground. I said not stand on the desecrator ground. Well, they've got a lot of desecrator ground going, don't they? Right, bounty done. Bounty set done. Let's finish looting this and let's head back to town. It'd help if I push the right button. Y brings up your achievements, whereas T, which is right next to Y, coincidentally, actually takes you back to town. Alright. Tyrael, give me the not boosted loot. Well, that actually felt rather... Yeah. Oh, well, we got a little bit extra, I suppose. Let's salvage up the rest of these. There is some nice things that we could change over to. But I think, as I said before, we're not going to really look at re-gearing ourselves until level 45. Burst of Wrath is going to stay with us, though. Let's put that... In fact, let's unsocket that, and we'll see how much damage we can put it up to. Because if I can make it better than Teldrum's Hand, it will probably be worth it. So, at the moment it does 152 DPS. You should never look at the DPS value, really, to find out how effective your build is going to be. But for immediate comparison, on itself, 173 DPS. Yeah, that's worth us changing over to. That's like an 11% increase. So, Teldrum's Hand, that can actually just get salvaged up. Yeah, none of these are going to stay. Let's do the salvaging and... I suppose we could swap over the gems in these as well for square rubies. It'll improve our strength, it'll improve our damage, and that'll help stave off the equipment rush that we need. So, remove from there. And it's only a little bit of money. Remove from there. Let's try that again. 1, 2, 3. And, yeah, that's a significant increase on where we were before. The rest of this stuff all goes in the stash, as you would expect. We'll sort it out once it's in there. So, that goes there, that goes there, that goes there, and all nicely organised. Alright, well, thank you very much for watching, everyone. I do hope you've enjoyed this quick run through another set of bounties. We're going to be carrying on probably a little bit later on today. So join me again next time for more Diablo 3. I'll see you soon.